Well, so nice to see all of you here. You know that we're in the throes of campaign season because I saw the senator just a couple days ago. I saw Delegate Guzman just a couple days ago. We're sort of all linked together in what is a critical election year. I want to thank Rob and Joan, our hosts, for bringing us all together. And perhaps most importantly, I want to thank my wife, Sarah, because today is our 4-year wedding anniversary. So she's being super cool right now. We're gonna go on a date after this.
That's pretty cool too.
Yeah, this is cool too.
That's commitment.
So I'm the Democratic nominee for the 100 district, which is a gerrymandered little creature of a district, as the senator was alluding to, all of the Eastern Shore and a chunk of Norfolk. And just want to paint a picture of the district, if I can, for a second, since we're not super close to it up here. It is many things all at once. It is, I think, rich in many ways. We have a NASA facility up in Accomack. We've got proximity to the world's largest naval base. We have proximity to the 3rd largest port system on the East Coast. And we have 1 in 3 kids who are growing up in poverty. The median household income is tens of thousands of dollars below the Virginia average. And it's also just politically a district that voted Obama, Clinton, Tim Kaine, Mark Warner, and Elaine Loria last fall, so this should be in the Democratic column for us going forward. But talking about kids, you know, I was sort of reflecting on sort of the early stages of this campaign, and one of the first stops I had was in a church for a career day with kids of immigrants, because there are a lot of farm workers on the shore. So I was meeting with them, talking about what is life like as a civil rights attorney, which is what I did after I worked in the Obama White House. And they were sort of peppering me with questions and was answering them. And I was also asking them questions. I was like, well, tell me about you. What does your mom do for a living? My mom cleans houses. Okay, that's great. And what about your dad? Tell me about your dad. My dad works at the poultry farm up in Accomack. Like, okay. And what is it that you hope to be when you grow up? I'm going to be a scientist. I'm going to be an engineer. I'm going to be an architect. I'm going to be a police officer so I can drive really fast and not get a ticket. And true story. It was hilarious. But what I loved about that moment was that they, even in their circumstances that were really challenging, were so unapologetic and so damn good at dreaming really big. Like kids do it so naturally, right? We know that. And so I think this November, we're not just asking you as Democrats to come out and vote. I'm also asking, I think all of us are asking you to dream a little bit, to imagine and see the better future that is within our grasp. Because we have a once in a, at least decade opportunity right here to get this right this year, being that we are on the eve of a census year. Because I'm kind of asking you to imagine a future in Virginia where teachers actually don't have to work 2 jobs to make ends meet. Wouldn't that be nice? I mean, in Accomack County, we're paying them so little that they're driving across the border into Maryland. I would like Maryland teachers to come into Virginia because we're treating them so well. I'm asking you to imagine a Virginia where we are sort of a leader in clean energy, and given that my district sits at sea level, that we are the sort of premier center of excellence when it comes to dealing with sea level rise, coastal resiliency. Let's own that challenge. Let's master it and share that knowledge and that moxie with the rest of the East Coast and all over the country and the world, for that matter. Imagine that. Imagine Virginia making history in a good way and ratifying the Equal Rights Amendment and living up to our values and saying everyone is equal in this country. Imagine a Virginia that is not just the best place for business, but also the best place for workers. Because you guys have probably seen those reports that say we are dead last for working families. We haven't raised the minimum wage in going on 11 years, which is the longest period of time ever. That's gone by without an increase by even a penny since the minimum wage was created, I think, in 1938. Workers in Virginia still don't have access to guaranteed paid sick days. We have so much work to do, but I can imagine that. I can see it. I'm willing to dream as big as those kids who I met in that little church in Onancock on the Eastern Shore. I hope that you are too, because it's really their futures that we are deciding, because we're not, when you go vote, you're not just deciding the next 2, you're deciding the next 10. I guess just the last thing I would say is, on election night, there are going to be, in part because we're in an off-off year, so many races that are decided by a super thin margin, right? 50 votes, 100 votes, 200 votes, I think we'll see that. And I think I'm still also coping from the trauma of 2017. You guys all remember that? We like picked the winner out of the bowl. Let's not do that again.
No.
I would like to avoid that. And the way that we can avoid that is by, even if you've knocked on a lot of doors this year, go pick up another packet. If they had knocked another packet in that district in 17, we would have had a different outcome, right? Call your friends, get in. I'm preaching to the choir here because I know you guys are here and you're active, but really, the numbers are going to be small, so every vote, I think, matters even more than it does in a year with higher turnout. So thank you for being believers, for being dreamers, for fighting the good fight. I'm not going to sleep at all until November 6th. That's how committed I am.
Okay.
But I am going to go on a date with my wife. And with that, I got to give it up to one of my personal favorite delegates in Virginia. She actually has been a mentor of mine since the beginning, invited me to her house when I was still not even sure that I was running, and you let me speak, and I was nervous, but here we are all these months later. Virginia's so lucky to have you. So, Delegate Elizabeth Guzman.